The man put in charge of getting a handle on fraud in Minnesota has released his step-by-step plan for fixing the issue. John Lauritsen shares the problems he discovered during the investigation and how he thinks they can be fixed.
Everybody needs to be held accountable. Everybody.
Not long after he was appointed by Governor Walz, Tim O'Malley says he began an independent investigation into what's caused widespread fraud in Minnesota. The former judge, attorney, and FBI agent says his findings went back half a century to the 1970s.
Every administration and legislative body was put on notice of the vulnerabilities to the program integrity. Stronger prevention measures should have been taken.
O'Malley says fraud prevention plans were repeatedly put in place but not executed effectively, allowing criminals to steal taxpayer money intended for vulnerable Minnesotans. He believes a culture of compassion over compliance is partly to blame.
I can't imagine that people in leadership over the last 50 years were not aware of this. The fact that this goes back so long is distressing.
But as distressing as it is, O'Malley says it can be fixed. On Monday, he released 56 pages of what he calls a roadmap to program integrity and fraud prevention. He says it's basically a plan with 3 phases. Number 1 is creating suggestions to prevent fraud. And number 2 is finding an independent watchdog to identify crime.
Somebody has to call balls and strikes and not feel any concern about offending somebody or causing problems for any individual or any agency.
O'Malley says the 3rd phase requires an inspector general or someone to continually oversee the entire plan.
We can deter the criminals and still provide those services. That is achievable.
O'Malley's roadmap is something Governor Walz hopes lawmakers will use this session as they address fraud.
It helps us once again create a roadmap of where we're going. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited the things we can do.
In St. Paul, John Lauritsen, WCCO News.